Mesdames et messieurs, bonjour et bienvenue.
Saying good afternoon to all watching us right now. It's a bilingual edition of the news on Canal The International. I'm called Morinzi and Major Stories. Said to have been retrieved from a hideout at my 24 months individual. Those were Major Stories, the details right ahead. In the nation's political capital, Yaoundé, according to Public Health Minister, the government has already taken the necessary measures to curb the transmission of the polio virus in the city of Yaoundé as soon as possible. More of this story in our subsequent editions of the news. Another consignment of dengue has been presented to the press in Bamenda in the northwest region of Cameroon by the Minister of Territorial Administration, Paul Atanga. That was on Tuesday. The guns are said to have been retrieved from a hideout at my 24 along the Bafut Boom Road after a tip from renowned or concerned anonymous individual. It was on the sidelines of a security meeting and the reception of the renovated subdivisional office in Bafut. The details with Gladys Ambu Tiba. Talking about a security meeting that was held this day by the Minister of Territorial Administration, Paul Atanga. Another consignment of den guns were presented to the press that was in Bamenda yesterday, Tuesday, by the Minister of Territorial Administration, Paul Atanga. The details with Gladys Ambu Tiba.
According to the Minister of Territorial Administration, these consignments of old and breaking up den guns were discovered in My 24 village along the Bafut Boom Road, certainly hidden by separatist fighters who have surrendered. Like during his last stay in Bamenda, he had told a security meeting in Bamenda on Tuesday that information had been leaked by an honest citizen.
And I really want the population to copy this example. This is somebody who is a patriotic Cameroonian, who saw that weapons have been hidden somewhere. And he has informed the gendarmes, and today we have collected the weapons.
Before the indoor security meeting, the minister led a delegation to Bafut on the outskirts of Bamenda to receive the renovated DO's office by the Rapid Intervention Battalion of the Army, burned down by separatist fighters in 2018. 2 security posts have been added to check any potential danger.
Yes, I think that it's something which is an innovation. You see that when you sit there, you can see at a distance, you can say more than 10 kilometers. So when you see the enemy coming, they can recognize the enemy. So I think that this is a sign that within the military and the civilians, we have a good partnership.
Meanwhile, Bafut has been losing its socio-economic prowess.
Strong cultural heritage, where tourists used to come down to the Bafut Palace and visit, and every year we were amazed with the kind of money that was generated from the Bafut Palace as a result of tourists coming in to visit every year.
The minister has reminded separatist fighters wishing to leave the bushes to hold a white handkerchief and a peace plant and go to any military installation or contact any local traditional or religious leader of their choice.
Cameroonians have expressed frustration and disappointment following a yet another accident involving Avenue Voyage. To many, the recent accidents on the Fumbot-Mbangante road that claimed 5 persons is a grim reminder of how much of a death trap our roads are in Cameroon. They want government to sanction. The details in the following story.
It was yet another dark day for the Cameroonian road. 5 dead, dozens injured after a bus belonging to the Avenue Junoun travel agency somersaulted before ending its course in this valley. The accident that occurred along the Fumbot-Mbangante road in the early hours of February 22nd has provoked outrage from Cameroonians who say it is one too many.
C'est un accident de trop.
I think this is becoming too recurrent. These are human lives we are losing. We are calling on authorities to take matters into their hands and dish out the right sanctions. The Avenir agency, which was also involved in an accident at the La Falaise Chang, leading to 55 deaths, is the main travel agency for the Bamon people. These natives decry the continuous loss of the Bamon people. We don't know if it's the problem of the roads, the drivers, or the state of the vehicles. Old vehicles need to be changed. We are tired. Bamon people are dying every day. If we put together the previous accident and this one, we would be counting more than 50 Bamon people who have lost their lives in the Avenir agency. Others have also called on passengers to rise up against malpractices and on social affairs and the Labour Ministry to improve the status of drivers. The blame has to be shared. We can blame the agency for all we want, but passengers also have a role to play. They need to speak up against overloading. The Social Affairs and the Labour Ministry also have to ensure these drivers are covered by insurance and have a contract. The recent accident has once more raised questions about the state of our roads and the nature of vehicles plying the road.
Inhabitants of Campo in Kribi in the South region have raised several difficulties in the course of their activities. Literally speaking, Campo residents are confined to their town. One of the major problems is the bad state of the road. In the following report, our intern Joy Gong presents live in Campo.
75 kilometers from Kribi, with only about 35 kilometers of tarred road, is the reality of the population of Campo in the Ocean Division of the South region. We have only 35 kilometers of tarred road leading to Kribi. The remaining 40 kilometers are very difficult to travel on, and the population is complaining of high rates of transport fare, which is up to 4,000 to 5,000 francs in the rainy season. A town yet very rich, with a presence of beautiful beaches that attracts tourists, but impossible to get there without difficulties, a project which is being looked into by the Delegation of Public Works. For the particular case of Campo, we will construct the National Road number 7, which leads from Edea to Campo. Apart from a good road network which constitutes a great hindrance to local development, there is equally the lack of electricity and the closure of borders due to the advent and widespread of the coronavirus pandemic. The population can no longer help but pour out their frustrations. We could go about and carry out our activities, businesses, such that money can flow into the economy of Cameroon and equally that of Equatorial Guinea. The newly appointed Senior Divisional Officer of the Ocean Division had a taste of these difficulties during the socio-economic tour in the region, where he visited the town of Campo. I know that this town is blessed with a lot of resources. These resources, however, need to be exploited to reassure its growth and development. Campo, though very rich, needs to be elevated, the wish of all its residents.
Cameroon and the World Bank are multiplying our strategies to combat the increasing economic crisis in Cameroon, which has rendered communities vulnerable. The Minister of Economic Planning and Regional Development is fine-tuning strategies to benefit from the World Bank facilities. Hyson Cha completes that story.
Most localities in Cameroon still lack basic amenities like schools and pipe-borne water. The situation further hardened by rising conflicts, climate change, disasters, with many living in total misery. Cameroon therefore seeking to consolidate her eligibility to tap from the World Bank facility of prevention, resilience and location. Cameroon's support package to the tune of over 600 million CFA francs.
We want to believe that the World Bank join its effort to the efforts deployed by Cameroon to address all these important issues. If not addressed, they will derail the process of development of our country.
In a national consultation workshop for drafting of Cameroon's strategic note for the prevention and resilience this Thursday in Yaoundé, the Ministry of Economy, Planning and Regional Development and the World Bank officials lay a pathway to implement the initiative in Cameroon.
To prevent fragility, avoid conflicts and promote resilience. So it's an exercise of developing a strategy.
Minister Alamine Ousmane May reiterates that Cameroon must embrace this special strategic plan to combat the growing hindrances.
All the socio-economic crises we are facing require a strategy, require commitment from the government, require strong policies.
Similar workshops will be organized all over the 10 regions of the country, bringing together the private sector, public administrators, civil society, local authorities to elaborate the strategies for effective implementation.
We have the rest of the news in the French language in Yossi.
Et justement, poursuivons donc avec cette information consacrée à la santé et portant justement sur cette nouvelle épidémie au Cameroun. Le ministre de la Santé publique porte à l'attention de l'opinion nationale et internationale de la survenue d'une nouvelle épidémie de poliomyélite dans la ville de Yaoundé. Cette épidémie fait suite à la détection de 2 cas de poliovirus de type 2 dans des prélèvements environnementaux dans le quartier de la Cité Verte, région du centre. Cette situation constitue une urgence de santé publique, considérant que le risque de propagation du virus est élevé. À cet effet, le gouvernement, à travers le ministère de la Santé publique, a d'ores et déjà pris les mesures qui s'imposent en vue notamment d'une investigation profonde, une sensibilisation accrue des communautés et la planification des activités de vaccination dans les zones à risque. L'objectif étant de stopper dans les plus brefs délais la transmission du virus de la poliomyélite dans la ville de Yaoundé et sur toute l'étendue du territoire national. Le ministre de la Santé publique lance un appel à soutenir les efforts engagés avec l'appui des partenaires au développement et invite vivement les populations à adhérer aux activités de vaccination. Il appelle entre autres au respect strict des règles d'hygiène de base et du calendrier de vaccination des enfants dans les formations sanitaires du pays. Et l'actualité, c'est avec ce recrutement. Justement, le recrutement de 2200 commandos au sein du bataillon d'intervention rapide, le BI, 400 candidats sur les 1461 retenus dans la région de l'Est. Le recrutement s'est déroulé à l'État, le poste de commandement du 2e BIR à l'Est. Le compte rendu avec Roméo Tignan et Kizito Komaï.
Désolation à la porte de la gloire du 2e bataillon d'intervention rapide à l'État quand le 400e candidat reçoit son t-shirt. Au départ, ils sont 1461 candidats sur 20 km avec 20 kg de charge et Kweke Vincent à l'arrivée, distance guidée